targeting the officials that are involved in the actual roundup.
Healthcare, crime, school, education, healthcare.
There's a civil war happening. There's a genocide occurring there.
Let's jump right over to a CNN panel discussing the Trump administration's plan to deport migrants to South Sudan, where a genocide is going on. So leave us a like if you can. It helps our videos out tremendously, gives us a boost in the algorithm, and let's see what we can add to this conversation.
The Trump administration is being directly accused by the court of just ignoring a court order. And it seems like they are starting to push into that territory of, you can't stop us.
Right. I mean, what is the court supposed to do about it, right? They are talking about targeting the officials that are involved in the actual roundups and the actual deportations, and like creating a situation for them where there are charges for those individuals just to work in the government and follow orders and commands. So maybe that's their only way of really doing it. But what are they supposed to do? Like, they don't have a militia or an army. That all they can do is try to press charges and try to stop the individuals that carry out the act of the commander-in-chief.
I want to spend the majority of this video speaking on the further overstepping of the judiciary that Trump is participating in with this. But like, first, this is where the white genocide is why I expedited the white refugees and not their race claim falls apart, falls on its face. Because in South Sudan, there's an actual genocide happening, for those who don't know, one of which the US government recognizes is happening and has actually accused one of the fractions of participating in the genocide. Trump not only took this to then go and cut off their ability to seek refuge, but is now actively deporting migrants into the genocide, despite court orders not to do so. And it's also people who aren't from Sudan. So the idea that he cares about genocide or victims of genocide is false. He's making more victims of genocide. He just wants to perpetuate this racist conspiracy put forth by those who are angry that apartheid ended in South Africa, like Elon Musk, but in further wanting to expand his executive power and simply defy our democratic constitutional principles. I mean, he's exposing all of that himself. The left doesn't really have to do any work here.
Why not just send them to their
I think they're attempting
of
to have a deterrence, to showcase to people you cannot continue to come to the United States. One, it's a national security problem. We have no idea who some of these people are. And two, it is a legitimate.
Well, we know who these people are. I mean,
we don't know 20 million, however many of these people
No, I'm talking about
legally.
the ones that they're sending to
okay,
Sudan.
but
yeah.
My point is, broadly speaking, for the most part, we have no idea who the people are who are coming into our country illegally. Number two, it is an excessive strain on all resources across the board. Healthcare, crime, school, education, healthcare. We don't have, I keep saying this, I don't know why Democrats don't understand this. We don't have unlimited resources
but my question was, why are they,
as a deterrence, to make it clear, if you come into the country, you will get sent somewhere you do not want to go.
So the idea here is that we are going to deter people by saying, you committed a crime here, maybe they did, and we're going to send you, hold on.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
We're going to send you to a country where we're saying there's a civil war happening. There's a genocide occurring there.
And like I said in the last part, that's where you realize it gets really insane when these are people who aren't even from South Sudan or Sudan at all. Like, there's someone who's from Myanmar that was deported there. So from a completely different continent that doesn't even speak the same language. I mean, the culture shock would be insane. They're just people who are here without proper documentation. So like, as a form of punishment, we're going to send them into a humanitarian crisis where disease and famine are ravaging the population, a civil war, a genocide. Like, who thinks that anyone deserves this, right? What kind of demented worldview do you have to think that that's justified because someone was here without the proper documentation, or even if they committed a crime here? Because remember, these are Christians, guys. These are the pro-life people who think we should protect life. So the moral implications here alone should be worrisome, mixed with the fact that he's, again, brazenly defying courts to do so. Like, at what point does this become impeachable? I would love to know.
I do think that they intentionally create these moments,
of course,
in order to have these conversations be aired out, so that Scott can come on here and say, well, don't you want to, you guys want to be soft on the murderers? But it is a question of what the law allows them to do in this situation, and what recourse these people might have.
Right. No, I mean, they're absolutely breaking the law in the name of good politics, because like what Scott just said is it's a strong point that a lot of people are going to go home with and say, I don't want someone living next to me that's a rapist, child molester, this, that, and they don't care where they go. I mean, a lot of people in this country just believe in the death penalty to anybody at any point. So it's like Trump is speaking to his people in the language that they understand. And so while it's something that really agitates the left, it works for his base.
And again, I would like to first point out, I don't think that there's a crime you can do that would warrant you being sent to a place where you could be tortured or killed, or at best case, front and center of a humanitarian crisis and genocide. That's just insane to me. But you would think it would be the pro-life people, the Christians, who held this worldview. But they're the ones pushing to send more people there. Second, they're just trying to intuition pump to give credence to a losing point. You see this a lot also with pro-life, coincidentally, when they try to invoke child or baby when talking about a fetus, which just isn't true. And here they're invoking criminals or murderers as if that begets them breaking the law, like they deserve it, right? They don't deserve the due process, or they can defy the court orders to deport them, which it's just not how we do things in this country. And it's rather frightening as you begin to realize that the more these people learn about how law works in this country, about how our governmental procedures work in this country, the less they respect it. Like, these are the least American, least patriotic people we have in our country, who parade around as patriotic. But now as they learn about how our systems and law actually works, they get angry because they're foaming at the mouth to live in some authoritarian police state where Trump is the almighty king. It's literally probably the closest we've been to civil war since the last Civil War.